Hi! Thank you for 500 subscribers. It's greatly appreciated. I'm here to answer some questions. So why don't we get started? How old you? I'm 3.8 free times 6 years old. It's 23. It's a convoluted way of saying I'm 23 because I like to overcomplicate things, it seems. The beanie stays on, because my hair is terrible and you don't want to see that today. You never want to see that. I should have to subjugate you to it and you shouldn't have to deal with me having a bad hair day, okay? Next question. Tyler the Creator. Yes, I know of Tyler the Creator. I haven't listened to any of his music. Should I? Is this a request, another question? I ask for questions specifically. What do I study/do for work? Would you like to work with anything related to music? That's a really good question. First of all, with my study, I am currently pursuing a degree in psychology, which I am extremely interested in. If you aren't studying it, but you're interested in it, specifically from a musical perspective, you should read this book. It's called This Is Your Brain on Music, and I am planning on doing a video on it once I finish it. I'm like halfway through. But yeah, I'm studying psychology. And no, I don't want to work with music because honestly, it's a passion of mine that I like to just keep separate from work because I don't want it to become a situation where my greatest hobby becomes my work, because then what am I gonna do when I'm tired of, working? I would like to work something with neuroscience, I think. Neuropsychology I find particularly interesting, but also cognitive and clinical psychology. And there's probably going to be videos sometime in the future about my degree and psychology in general, because I find it immensely fascinating. So yeah, let me know if you'd like some of that, and if you do, please tell me some topics you'd like covered. I can try and do it. What I do for work currently, I'm a waiter at a restaurant that serves traditional Danish food, and we also do some Italian and occasionally other Italian stuff, and occasionally some other types of cuisine. Here's a picture of what I look like working. Don't mind the quality of the picture. It was taken while I was at a bar, kinda drunk, but that's what I look like working. I know, I'm hot. Why did I start to give a chance to hip-hop? That's actually a genuinely really good question. I have always considered myself to be a pretty open-minded person, whether it comes to religions or political opinions and just the world, I guess, in general. I've always tried to, I'd say at least, be the type of person who tastes my food before I put salt on it. A little bit of a metaphor for you. No, but I try to be open-minded, and I realized that I actually wasn't particularly open-minded with music, specifically towards anything that I, in my younger years at least, I'm aging myself by saying that, I'm aware, would deem too simplistic or not metal enough. Like, I was absolutely one of those kids who, once I discovered metal, was like, oh, it doesn't have distorted guitars in it, it's trash! Which I don't believe anymore. I listen to a broad, swath of music, and hip-hop is just kind of seems to me to be like a distant cousin to metal, and that kind of brought me on to wanting to get into it, which brings us to our next question, which is probably the hardest question to answer for me. What rock/metal albums would you recommend to hip-hop fans, and what are my favorite artists and bands? I could make a whole video about this. I probably am going to make a whole video about this, so we're gonna keep this a little bit short. First of all, if you are a hip-hop head and you want to get into metal, I would, if I were you, first of all figure out why you like rap and what it is about it you like, because if it is the more rhythmically driven, aggressively sounding sounds of it, fucking go with nu metal. That's what I did. I started out listening to Linkin Park. And I actually think I have the Meteora album and Hybrid Theory somewhere in the back. I still really like some of their stuff. I genuinely think Meteora and Hybrid Theory are fantastic. You could check those out. If you want more of just general feeling of whether metal is going to be for you, I am gonna have to say check out Metallica. I know they're very normie bands, but honestly, if you don't like Metallica's sound, you probably aren't going to like at least a good deal of metal, because they are like the forefathers of modern metal. Now, with that said, there are obviously many subgenres of metal that all have slightly different sounds and variations on those sounds. When it comes to my favorite artists, I very much am into progressive metal. I absolutely adore bands such as Tool, Leprous, Opeth, Dream Theater. There's also this German band called Dissolution, which is nowhere near as famous as they should be. Seriously, go listen to their album Back to Times of Splendor. It is utterly fantastic. And besides that, I am a huge huge fan of Justin Bonnet, who is a vocalist slash guitarist slash drummer slash just insanely talented artist from America, who's also the lead vocalist in Tala, a band featuring Max Portnoy, Mike Portnoy's earlier Avenged Sevenfold. Oh yeah, I love Avenged Sevenfold as well. Early Avenged Sevenfold and Dream Theater drummer. And Justin Bonnet has this solo concept called Hungry Lights, which actually is on my wall. I also have one other poster which I want to get up, but I haven't gotten the time to actually hang it yet. That was a bit of a tangent. Absolutely adore his stuff. Seriously, if you are into progressive metal and you are not on the Justin Bonnet bandwagon, you are missing out. Was it hard to get into rap? Yes, and yes, I think it still is. I mean, yes and no, I guess, because I think if I put my mind to, being open-minded, and if I put my mind to actually getting into something, it's not that difficult, Like, if I just go into something with the mentality of, okay, this is going to be different from what I'm used to, let's try and just keep an open mind, I don't find it that hard. With that said, there are absolutely elements of rap that I am having some trouble with. Autotune is one of them. It's one thing I've spoken very, very, openly about. Another one is my propensity for, focusing too much on production rather than lyricism, because I make instrumental music myself. I listen to quite a lot of instrumental music, and I just honestly, and I'm gonna make a video about this probably at one point, I think the sonic aspects of any music is more important than lyrics. It is not necessarily, that doesn't mean that lyrics aren't important, it doesn't mean that lyrics can't have significant importance, particularly in rap, but I do think the sonic aspects are more important and is what really makes the music, music, If you just want lyricism, read poetry, which is also great. Dolce et Decorum Est. Read it if you like poetry and you haven't, it's a fantastic poem, and if you're ready for some, First World War imagery, that's tough to get through. But yeah, it kind of was, kind of isn't, because, I also started with nu metal, and other nu metal bands, by the way, if you want other suggestions than Linkin Park, would be Korn or Slipknot, their early stuff, and actually some of their newer stuff also still has elements of nu metal. Tala is probably the biggest current, I think it's called New Core Quartet, I think is what they're called. Because they are mixing so many different elements of different metal genres into, their concept. It's really great stuff. Cannot recommend it enough. Full album reactions. I may already have recorded part of one, which I had to stop midway through because I started getting really sick, and I'm gonna continue it. But yes, full album reactions are coming. The issue with it is that I am a full-time student. I work part-time. And I also have to, keep my mental and physical health up. So doing full album reactions is difficult because it takes a lot of time, both to listen to it, to pause it, to actually engage with it and not just sit there and go, oh yeah, cool stuff. Yeah, you want to make it entertaining. And to do that, it just takes a lot of energy, and also editing them takes a lot longer than editing singles. So yes, they are happening, they are just going to be few and far in between. And those were all the questions. Wow, I'm a fast talker. I didn't really expect to get through this fast. Well, thank you so much for all the questions. I really want to do this stuff more, because it's important to me to foster a community. I really want a community around what we're doing here, and I want you to be engaged in it. So please, if you have any further comments, questions, leave them below. I'd love to answer them in a future Q&A, and we're gonna be doing more Q&As. This is actually really fun. Also, if you haven't noticed, I'm a talkative dick, and I like talking a lot, so when I don't do reactions, I can just talk. I don't have to sit here and be like, oh no, I'm gonna be talking over some important part of the lyrics or something. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much to every single one of you for pressing subscribe. I can't explain how much it means to me. I have been trying to do YouTube on off since I was about 14 years old, so that's 9 years. And this is by far the most success I've ever had. So thank you. It really means a lot, and all of you brighten my day pretty much every day. And yeah, if you want to keep updated, press subscribe. If you don't, why are you still watching? Sorry. If you want to keep updated, press subscribe. Please leave a comment below just with more questions, suggestions, or just comments. How's your day been? Hope you've been doing well. And please leave a like to bump me in the algorithm a little bit, because as we all know, the algorithm is a bit, well, algorithmic. And I hope that you all have a very, very nice day. Bye bye.